Well, got a brand new place to metal detect today. It kind of stems from the last site that we went to, which is Samuel Flager's house. We just got a real quick start on that one. But this one's actually Peter Flager. It's the father of that guy. You know, Peter was part of the War of 1812. He's a veteran. Today is Veterans Day. So if you're watching today and you're a veteran, thank you very much for your service. And I'm kind of interested in finding some stuff that maybe he possibly dropped. You know, I know that there wasn't really a great big war that happened anywhere around me in this area. I'm in Ohio. Most of you already know that. But, you know, if I'm going to increase my probability, I could check out the Daughters of the Revolutionary War website, and they'll give you some names and things of your people in your county that'll help you place, you know, they'll show the cemetery, and then you can radially search from there on old atlases to see if you can find a house that may have been shown on a map that was owned by that person. You'd have to look for the right range date because they'd have to live long enough in order to get, you know, war was 1812, they were probably in their 20s, and then you know, if they lived to be 70 years old, they might show up on a 1850s or 1860s atlas, just depending on how long they live. But, you know, if there's any chance you're going to find any buttons or belt buckles from the Revolutionary War or the War of 1812, then you'd have to hunt at one of those houses, because most likely they brought it with them and possibly lost it out in the yard. So that's where we're headed today. Let's go check it out. Well, this is it. It's Peter Flager's house. It looks like the back section that's running this way is definitely the older part. The stone foundation's been covered over by some kind of stucco or cement, I guess to protect it from the weather, because sandstone wears down over time and it starts scaling off on the outside, so you have to do something to maintain that foundation. I'm not 100% positive that this is the house. This is a very old house. The style that it's in definitely puts it in the range that I'm looking for, you know, the early 1800s. But there is a rise right here, natural rise that goes up behind us here. And, you know, I've got some maps I'll show you here in just a second that may place the house like an original log cabin or something a little bit further on the hill. I am going to be running the V3i today with the D2 coil, and that's pretty much it. So let's take a look at the maps. So here are our maps for today. That right there is a 2016 aerial view. You'll see one arrow on the road right here, marking a place where a stream goes through. You can see that dark green line that's in the middle of that harvested corn. And then you'll see another point over here that is another place where it crosses a road. This is a school that we're going to hunt eventually. I have a meeting this Thursday to gain permission for that. So, see, schoolhouse. But you can see the creek that's running through here, the Peter Flager right there, which is the person that we're looking for. And this road that's going to the north, there's that crossing where a stream came through. And this has all been modified for farming. They put drain tile in the ground to make the creeks disappear so they can farm it. And then we have another point right here where it crosses the road, and that's where this arrow is pointing there. So this pond is actually that pond right there, and yes, that is a frozen pond to give you an idea how cold it is today. And but we're standing right about here on this side of it. So we're just gonna guess that possibly the scale was off on that old map there, and metal detect this house that may look like it's too close to the road, or we may be at the wrong house and we do have to get further away from the road and find a house further up on this hill. I'll go ahead and pick up the V3i, show you my settings, and then we'll get going. I had some folks inquire about my screen cover before we get into setup. This is just an iPad screen cover. It's a matte finish, so I can actually video my screen without the glossy one that came on the machine. I bought 4 big sheets of this for about $8 shipped to the house, and I can cut many of them out of it. And it's just static adhesion. You can see there's no glue, so it doesn't hurt the machine. Programs, we're going to be in High Pro today, going into Expert Menu. My backlight's set at 6 so it doesn't drain my battery down. 10-inch double D coil is selected because that's what I'm using. And let's get on into Expert Menu. The discrimination is going to be accepting 0 to plus 95. Sensitivity is going to be RX gain 13. I may take that up or down depending on if I have any EMI issues, but there's no power lines here. Discrimination sensitivity is 90 and all metal 70. I leave all metal at 70 because I can actually pinpoint accurately that way. Audio, I'm only going to run indiscriminate, because if I was in mixed mode, which has all metal and discriminate channel in it, I'm going to be driving myself nuts, because there's been families in this house all the way the whole time it's been in existence. And there's tons of stuff in the ground. Ground tracking is going to be lock track, filter and speed 7.5, recovery delay 50. I'm going to take that down to 40 just because the trash that's in the yard. I could take that to 50 or 60, but I'm just going to leave it there. And that's pretty much it. Get ground balance and get going. There it is at 4 3/4. This is our first target. I always like starting things off right, but there's no guarantees. There's no guarantee right there. Well, there's my 50s signal. 50s, 60s. Just some old piece of metal. Looks like it might have some lead in it there. Not sure, but it's all we got. Check the hole and move on to the next. But there's our target at 2 inches. You can see just below this. That's where I just dug the last one. And there's the target. It's, 78, 80. I was pretty sure I was going to find a lot of these in this yard. Yep, the old Matchbox cars. They ring up nice and high. Looks like an old hay truck or some kind of farm equipment type truck. Pretty cool. On to the next. We got 3.5 inches, and you can see why I'm going to show it. It's up in the 80s. It's definitely round. There's what we have. It's definitely a quarter. Probably just modern. Yeah, I can see the eagle on the back. Old George Washington quarter. Non-silver. Got close though. 1971. Just needed to get to 64, but it's our first coin. It's 4 3/4, so we're getting down there a little deeper. That is a really good sign. Unless it's something like a pop can or a Matchbox car. I guess it could be a modern quarter too. But let's keep our fingers crossed. I want something old. There's like a pile of money on the other side of this driveway. It's just another modern one. It's a quarter. See? What year do we have? 1984. That's not old because it's not older than me, so let's get another one. I don't think that's the house. It is an old house. It does have sandstone foundation, but I think there's something else to be found out here. I know you are getting a lot of wind, sorry, but we're walking on back to the back. Well, we're back here. I know I should have my coil out swinging it right now, but I'm going to look first. I'm going to look for anything that's in this field that's either slate or brick or things like that I can identify. Maybe where this house site was a little bit further back here. Haven't seen anything yet. Well, I just walked all these fields and guess what I found? Nothing. Not a single thing. No bricks, no slate, no nothing. No dishware, broken dishes, things like that. So, I don't know. I guess we'll get out the metal detector and see what we can find. There might be some crotal bells or drop coins or something out here. But this is what I'm running into on the maps. You have this drainway that you can see right there in green, and you can see another one right here. That's the one I thought I was supposed to be out here basing my position of the house off of. But you can see that on this old 1853 Atlas, it has a big bow to it. And then we move back to the 2016 one, and even though it crosses that property line, you can see it has that big bow to it. So if that house is actually right there, relative to this old map, it's gonna be way over there. I actually walked over there, but I didn't see any brick or anything. So we're gonna hunt right here first, just to see what we find, and then we're gonna move over there and hopefully get on the old home site. Something at 5 3/4, and it is low. And it looks to be not even a paper shotgun shell. It's just a modern one with the plastic still connected to it. So, not a good sign yet. It's really big. That's what we have. aluminum. I've been metal detecting for about 45 minutes with only shotgun shells. I'm hoping this is not one. Whatever it is in here. Whatever we have, it's that. Let me clean it off. Here's what we have, and I don't know what that is. It is half of it. It's been broke off. Looks like it has threads built into it, maybe. So that's all I have. Third time's the charm, right? Well, we tried next to the house, up close to it, within 20 yards or so. And we moved back in the fields. And as I was walking back up to maybe metal detect the house again, I realized there's a flat spot back here behind the house. This is the flat spot. Now it could have been graded out, but it looks pretty natural. We just came from way behind those trees back there. Not the far ones, but that big one right there. And we're gonna just try this out. There's the next one at 5.5. Somewhere right there. It's in there. Oh, I thought it was a pull tab. Kind of looks like one. I don't know. I'm gonna clean it off. I'll show you. Well, this is it. I can't make that out real good. Maybe optics, OPTIKS. I don't know. It's very weird. It's got a cotter pin, two little things that look about the same. On to the next. Next target, we got 6 1/4. It's pretty high VDIs. Hopefully this is something good. Well, looky there. Huh. A little bit of a day saver. And as we're approaching this, you're gonna see it. Because I just pulled this plug out and I can see it. You see it? It's right there. I needed this so bad. I don't care if it's a Roosevelt. There it is. I'm gonna move you all up to the upper stand now. You really can't tell what it is yet. I'm just gonna remove some of this. Please be something awesome. It's a mercury. Looks like it's been through a fire. It's all black on one side, see? Don't know what date that is yet. Let's wipe off the other side. Looks pretty good. I'm gonna spray some water on it. So we have a 1943 mercury. And there's the back side. It's pretty awesome. So 1943. Not real deep, 3 1/4, but very interesting. It's right there. Just popped right out. It's another 1/4. It's not silver. It's 1979. On to the next. 4 3/4. It's just a balled up piece of nothing. Just iron. Burnt. I don't know what makes that hit like that, but it sure hit good. Huh. Well, I just came around the house to end my video, and there's a big bunny. I love bunnies, by the way. Come here. Oh, he took off. We have a little Highland Lop at our house, and when I see bunnies, I get excited. So I forgot to end my video. Didn't really find any War of 1812 or Revolutionary War buttons, bullets, buckles, or anything, but I did find that one mercury dime. Found a lot of trash. I didn't show it all in my clips, but you're all about to see it here in just a minute. So, but that's my hunt for today. Next time, hopefully it'll be better. Good ones and bad ones, you know. That's just part of it. So, until next time, take care.